Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Degenerate Disseminators podcast. I'm your host, Jordan. Fortunately, by myself today. If you hear from a previous episode, usually Daniel's here, but it's 2:58 in the morning. If you guys were here for yesterday's episode, it was Daniel's birthday, so we were doing stuff out for that. Went to the Panthers game, caught the UFC fights as well. So pretty late night. And he has stuff to do tomorrow, so I'm holding it down, taking one for the team. Yeah, before we get started, let's recap our picks for Saturday. Not a good night. 1-4 on plays. Well, we had 6 picks total, but 5 plays because one of them was a 2-leg parlay. First one we did Panthers -1.5 to Chuck assist parlay. Panthers covered the spread 1-3-1. No to Chuck assist, but I'm gonna stand on this one. I don't think this was a bad bet. To Chuck was really looking, to get people set up. Just couldn't get it in. And then there was a play that to Chuck's second goal. He scored 2 goals this game. We were sitting behind the net, and he kind of like chip shot of the goalie a little bit, and it looked like the puck kind of bobbled around, and then someone tapped it in. But unfortunately, after taking a look, to Chuck just scored it straight up. A little heartbreaking there. There was another one. It could have looked like he had a secondary assist, but someone did. They snuck a little stick deflection in there, so it went to them instead. I forgot who that was. But yeah. Cyril Gahn by way of finish. Weird fight. I think that's one I definitely need to rewatch. I thought Volkov looked really good. A lot better than I expected, although I did say in the last episode he has been looking pretty good. Very underwhelming performance from Gahn. I do think he is like a very versatile all-around heavyweight in this division, and just very skilled overall. Yeah, I thought Volkov won. Gahn got the decision nod. So we missed on that one. This one I'm disappointed about. The under 3.5 for Ian Gary versus Shavkat. I'm gonna stand on this one too. I don't think this was a bad bet at all. You have a guy who's 18-0 with 18 finishes. You have another skilled fighter in Ian Gary. This fight did go the full 5 rounds. Kind of a curveball. Both fighters did have some good moments in this fight, though. This was a really good fight, honestly. But when you bet on the UFC, stuff happens. You never really know what's going to happen on any given night, unfortunately. So yeah, missed that one. Over 2.5 rounds, Pantoja versus Asakura. Maybe this was a bad bet on my part. I probably could have done a little more research on Asakura. I thought there was going to be more of a feeling out process, but they came out swinging, and they were hitting hard. Usually with these flyweights, we kind of see like this weird phenomenon. They can recover really quick, but they were getting hit hard. Pantoja ate a flying knee. Asakura ate this beautiful overhand left from Pantoja after he recovered from that knee, and it looked like Pantoja didn't even realize he was out. He could have, if he realized it, he probably could have gotten him out of there even sooner. But either way, we were cooked, so that was a miss there. And then Daniel came in hot with the Jets -1.5 for our one lone win on the night. But we did have a lot of plus money stuff, so we weren't, there wasn't like too much bankroll out there, and we were only, even though we went 1-4, we're only down 2.6 units. Still up on the week on podcast picks. There we go. And I know I'm up personally. I do give out personal picks on our Instagram at DD Sports Podcast. Yeah, if you want some extra content, picks. We don't make episodes every day, so we do have some stuff going on over there. If you guys could please give us a follow. And yeah, not the best day, but I try to, gamble in a very sufficient and self-supporting way. This isn't the end of the world. I haven't had a losing day since last week Saturday, I believe. So is what it is. But the thing with me is when I have a night like this, I'm not looking to, get it all back tomorrow. I'm just going to do what I normally do and keep the ball rolling. It's Sunday. NFL's got a lot of stuff going on. Sorry, I got a little parched there. And yeah, I got 3 picks for us today. Like I said, we're not going to be going ham. I'm not the kind of guy to chase losses. And even tonight wasn't that big of a loss. It is what it is. Yeah, let's get into it. Sunday, NFL Sunday. I'm excited. For those of you who don't know, I'm a college student, finishing my last year, and my classes are wrapping up. Usually on Sundays, my bed, as you can see, my bed is right there. Usually have my laptop sitting on top of my PC right here. Literally roll over, grab the laptop, turn on football, and I'll just do homework and watch football all day. But I don't have anything to do school wise. The semester's over, so literally I'm just gonna be watching football all day. It's gonna be awesome. Um, First game we're gonna look at is the Buffalo Bills at the LA Rams. I feel like the term mid has really been inflated over the last few years. Someone will call like something really bad mid, like bottom of the barrel. They'll call it mid, but the Rams are quite literally like mid. Like it doesn't get more mid than this. 6-6 overall on the year, both being 3-3 at home and 3-3 on the road. Like what? This is the Rams team. So before I even dive into the stats or whatever, the Bills are only catching -3.5. What? This is the same Rams team that were catching 2.5 points as favorites at home against Miami. Said it before. I'm a Miami fan, Florida guy, but the Bills are a lot better than Miami. That really doesn't take a big football head to figure out. That's pretty understandable. And the Rams ended up losing by 8 points at home. I don't know how I'm thankful. I'm glad they're only catching 3.5 points here. It should be a pretty easy win. Rams are 4-7 ATS this year in total, as opposed to the Buffalo Bills being 8-4 on the year, which is pretty solid, and 4-2 on the road as well. In overall offense, the Bills are ranked 10, with the Rams being at 18. However, we do see a pretty significant advantage for the Rams as they sit at 11th place in passing offense, with the Bills being at 17th. However, in passing defense, excuse me here. I've been messing up my notes lately. I apologize. This is I need an assistant or something. We see the Bills at number 8, top 10, and the Rams are sitting at 15th. So although on paper the Rams do seem to have a better passing attack, I do think that is going to balance out, and the Bills might even have more success due to them being better defensively. So in the terms of passing, like I said, I think it is pretty evenly matched, maybe a slight advantage to the Bills. But if we look at it on the rushing side of things, sorry, my mouth is very dry for some reason. We do see a huge advantage here to the Bills. In rushing offense, they are sitting at 11th place, and the Rams are all the way down back at 26, almost in the bottom 5. But if we look at it defensively, the Bills actually aren't that great against the rush, sitting at 18th, which isn't great. But then we do see the Rams all the way down at 28th. So I do think, like I said, passing attack is going to be, could be pretty even. Maybe the Bills do a little better. Maybe even the Rams do a little better. Who knows? But I do think the discrepancy here is going to be the rushing attack. I think the Bills are going to have much more opportunity to mix up their attack, since the Rams clearly can't stop the run to save their life. So I think if the Bills' rush attack can do pretty good, get the defense worried, I think they are going to have a lot more outlets on offense and just overall do better. And if that works, the Bills' passing defense doesn't even really need to be there. But if it is, I think the Rams are going to get frustrated since they're not going to be able to run the ball against this Bills team. And I think that the Bills are going to come out strong. They're going to take this lead, and I don't think they're going to lose it. I can't see this being a back and forth game. And Josh Allen's making an MVP candidate discussion for himself, and I think this is a good spot to have himself a good game. 3.5 points is not enough. So give me the Bills at -3.5 for 1.1 units. Please bear with me as I need another sip of water. I don't know why my mouth is so dry. Alrighty, let's continue. Next game I'm going to be looking at here is the Raiders at the Buccaneers. This is a big game for the Buccaneers. I think I don't know how I want to word this, but I think the Buccaneers have kind of under-delivered this year. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but I expected more out of them. They are sitting at 6-6, which isn't awful, but I thought this was going to be a team with a winning record at this point in the year. But they still are in the playoff conversation, being 6-6. With a win here, this would bump them up to a 66% playoff probability. This is according to the NFL playoff picture on NFL.com. If you guys want to check that out, I use it. I've been using it a lot for these NFL picks. Pretty interesting stuff on there. But anyways, huge spot for the Buccaneers. Raiders have been all out of whack this whole season. This franchise is falling apart in front of our eyes, guys. This is not cool for them. So Bucks are 6-6 on the year, like I mentioned, but they're 7-5 ATS, which is pretty neat to see. I like, when these teams aren't so good straight up, but they are doing better against the spread, which is pretty interesting. But it's also the same for the Raiders because they're 5-7 ATS on the year, which isn't as good as the Bucks, obviously, but they do sit just at 2-10 on the year overall. If we look at offense, Buccaneers do have the sixth best. I can't speak. I'm sorry. The sixth best total offense in the entire league, with the Raiders being all the way in 25th. However, the Raiders actually haven't been doing that bad on defense, being 14th, and the Buccaneers all the way in 28th. This doesn't really scare me though. The Raiders' offense is just going to ruin this for themselves. I think the Buccaneers, although the Raiders' defense is pretty decent, not for nothing. But this Raiders offense is not going to move the ball. Aiden O'Connor looked, better, or he had a good game against the Chiefs, and it was a close game. But come on, guys, who hasn't had a close game with the Chiefs this season? No one. That's the correct answer. So yeah, I think the Raiders offense is going to struggle. If the Raiders defense does well, oh well. I think the Raiders are still going to get the ball. The Buccaneers are going to get this ball down the field and find the end zone. Maybe not as much as they would like to, but I just don't think that the Raiders can move this ball. And yeah, like I just said, I do love this spot for the Buccaneers. This would, put them back at above 0.500 against, this is not a very good team they're going against here at home as well. Yeah, so I think same thing. Like I said, they might struggle at first, but the Buccaneers are going to take this lead and run with it. And the Raiders are going to be playing from behind, and they are going to struggle. Give me Baker and the Buccaneers at -6.5 for 1.1 units. Sorry, guys. I don't know why. I'm very thirsty this episode. I think, I just miss Daniel. My body's falling apart. Third and final pick of the night. You guys are going to think I'm crazy, but the Jags at the Titans. This total line is sitting at 40 points on Hard Rock Bet. Don't really. I didn't have the chance to look at other lines, but you could probably get it for like 38.5, which is pretty low. When it comes to like game totals, there are like certain numbers that I like to, I really don't care who's playing, but if I see that number, like I'm gonna at least look into it. Usually in the NBA for me, that's like 210 and below, because what modern NBA team isn't hitting that? But anyways, I continue. For football, for me, that number is usually like that 41.5, 42. This game line is sitting at 40 points. Both of these teams suck really bad. Jags out of playoff contention. Titans about to follow them out that door as well. So these teams really don't have anything to prove this game, like at all. There's nothing. Like this game realistically means nothing for either of these teams. If they want to make them, try to give some fan service, make themselves not look so terrible, sure. But yeah, I think this is gonna be actually a pretty fun game. I think these teams are gonna try some new stuff, maybe. Just have fun, not really care if you win or lose. Just get that ball down the field. I kind of like these games, especially later in the season. I feel like these are kind of sleeper spots here. Not really a primetime matchup or a primetime. It's not like a Monday night or Sunday night game. This is smack in the middle of the day. But yeah, both these teams are having really bad seasons. However, despite this, both these teams are 7-5 against the game total this year, which is pretty solid. I think the Jags are 2-10 and the Titans are 3-9. So they are doing a significantly better job of hitting the over. Probably because they suck and these teams that they're playing are running up the score on them. But either way, it's getting hit. So in terms of scoring offense, low numbers, surprise. But the Jags are putting up 19 a game, and the Titans are putting up 18.4. While before someone gets offended, I understand that if you combine these two numbers, it is going to be below that 40-point mark. Only by a field goal, though. And even outside of that, if we look defensively, these teams are both bottom 5. So I think both of these offenses, while they are not good, I think they are going to be a little bit better in this game. And like I said, it is only a field goal of a difference in order to hit that 40-point mark. So I think this is pretty solid. This is probably my least confident of the 3 picks, so do what you want with that, but I am making it official for the podcast because I do think this is going to hit. 40 points is low, in my opinion. This is actually the lowest line that the Jags have had this season. So I see great success there. Who's going to win this game? Couldn't tell you. Couldn't pretend that I cared either. So yeah, give me the over 40 points at 1.1 units. And a quick little recap for the day. Let me scroll on. We have Bills at Rams. We're going to take the Bills at -3.5. We're going to take... Oh, sorry, my apologies. For 1.1 units, as it is sitting at -110. We were going to take the Bucks for the Raiders at Bucks game for -6.5 for 1.1 units, as it is sitting at -110. And then the Jags at the Titans over 40 points game total for 1.1 units at -110. 3.3 units in play today. Like I said, sorry about Saturday's picks, but still up on the week. So is what it is. I'm not going to do anything crazy today. We are going to play it safe, and that is how you should do it because chasing your losses never goes well. Once again, I'm your host Jordan, and we will catch you in the next episode of the Degenerate Disseminator Sports Betting Podcast. See ya.